Why has there been racial segregation for centuries? Why does it matter to have black or white skin? Who and why were people given the sense to discriminate and hate black people? All answers lie in the fear the white people feel of black people, especially black men. And these fears trigger absolute hate, disturbing the natural human society. But what are those fears that led to hate and discrimination? Do white people confess they fear, and are those fears untold, often hidden, yet white people feel them unconsciously? A channel where we talk about less known and hidden black history, culture, arts, and lost civilization. We scrutinize history here to bring the black culture back on the surface again. In this episode, we will explain how blacks have more chances of domination and the fears associated with that. Let's get started. It's the human psyche to either hate or love. People we feel attracted to are people we love. However, when someone is superior to us in position or any other form, we feel envy. This envy develops hate within us, and we feel threatened even if no direct threat is visible. But it changes everything. Next time we meet the person we feel jealous about, the hate might take over, and it can be our response to use everything at our disposal to make them feel inferior. The same is the case when it comes to racial segregation, racism, and discrimination. White people feel threatened, and this leads to hate. However, it should be noted that not every white is involved in this fear. Only the ultra-conservative white supremacists feel threatened. But we should not go into this debate as our goal is just to educate you. That's why you need to know the fears white people feel. Once you know them and understand the reasons, you can see why there is hate against black people to this day. Reason 1. Fear of extinction. The fear of potential extinction is prevalent among groups who believe their cultural, ethnic, or racial identity is at risk. In the case of white supremacists, this fear is high against black people. Consciously or subconsciously, white people have a sense of knowing about blacks being stronger, attractive, and superior, and thus they are seen as a direct threat. The fear of extinction stems from a sense that white people's population, influence, or power is dwindling. What's more, demographic changes like migration patterns, cultural shifts, or changes in birth rates may further intensify this. This fear is further intensified when they know blacks are taking their place. Due to blacks' superior genes, white people feel that their genes might take over if intermarriage is done. For example, they fear that the child will have black genes if a black man and a white woman marry, since black genes are better equipped. This fear can lead to a feeling of unease, insecurity, and a desire to safeguard, leading to racism. Reason 2. Fear of being replaced. There are privileges associated with white people. In other words, people born in white families automatically get privileges because the distribution of wealth is unequal. White people have more resources because a disparity system was created centuries ago. However, today, this is changing, leading white people to feel the fear of being replaced. Earlier, laws restrained blacks from having property. Thus, no matter how much they work, their fate would never change. But today, that's not the case. Everyone's free to do whatever they want. Hence, black people are using their minds and bodies at full capacity, which whites cannot compete with. This belief can cause them to feel anxious and fearful about being replaced or left behind by blacks, especially if they perceive that the latter has advantages in areas such as economics, culture, or demographics. Reason 3. Fear of high competition. Some social orders were written centuries ago. For example, in Greek city-states, those who worked physically hard were considered inferior and slaves. But those who were philosophers were considered entitled to have all rights and privileges. Hence, physically weaker people could use the system and not worry about physically stronger people, mostly slaves. But now, it's different, leading the complexes to come out to the surface in white. Whites feel anxiety when more competent people like blacks are introduced into society. They may worry that they cannot perform at the same level as their more skilled peers, and that they will be unable to meet the expectations placed on them. This fear can be exacerbated by pressure from others, a lack of confidence in their abilities, or a fear of failure. In some cases, whites who feel incompetent may even experience imposter syndrome, in which they doubt their own competence and feel like they are faking it, or that their successes are due to luck rather than their abilities. Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on black culture, history, civilization, and natural superiority. Let's continue now. Reason 4. Inferiority complex. Perhaps ultra-white conservatives and supremacists have already accepted that blacks are better equipped for survival. Their genes make them more adaptive under every environment, and that's why blacks are some of the most genius and physically stronger people on the planet. But that does not mean white supremacists accept this as a reality. Rather, they feel jealous, where the inferiority complex triggers hate. An inferiority complex is a psychological condition in which an individual feels inferior or inadequate compared to others, particularly those perceived as strong or genius. This can lead to feelings of low self-esteem, worthlessness, and self-doubt, and may result in behaviors such as avoidance, self-sabotage, or aggression towards others. That's why we have seen so many cases in which whites fight with blacks. When you try to find the reason behind these conflicts and study these cases, you won't find any reasonable cause. Rather, the hate that triggers fights is due to whites' inferiority complex. They may feel intimidated by blacks and perceive themselves as incapable of achieving the same level of success or excellence. They may believe they are inherently flawed or deficient in some way and may be preoccupied with their perceived shortcomings or weaknesses. Reason 5. Fear of losing partners. Let's be honest. Today, all around the world, open-mindedness and freedom have allowed people to do whatever they want. Homosexuality is normal, which in reality should not be made controversial. In the same way, intermarriage between blacks and whites is becoming more frequent. Not only that, but white girls prefer black men over white men simply because black men can be sexually active and stronger, and this creates fear. White men who experience sexual insecurity may feel anxious about the potential loss of their partners to sexually strong individuals within the society. And you know who is sexually stronger. This fear may originate from inadequacy or uncertainty about their sexual performance or physical attractiveness. They may be concerned that their partners will be attracted to someone perceived as more sexually appealing, and may feel threatened by the attention that these individuals receive. This fear may be intensified by societal messages that equate sexual prowess with masculinity and desirability, leading those who lack these attributes to feel inadequate or inferior. No white girl hides her relationship with a black man today, making white men fear losing their partners. Reason 6. Fear of losing white supremacy. Extreme white conservative supremacist groups commonly experience a fear of losing their grip on white supremacy. They perceive the increasing racial and ethnic diversity, progressive social movements, and changes in societal norms as a threat to their social, cultural, and political power. But you should first know what white supremacy is. According to white conservatives and supremacists, whites are naturally superior and chosen people by God. In other words, white supremacy says that whites are the only people with all rights and audacity to do whatever they want. But today, this ideology is under threat, which proves its flawed nature. You see, if white supremacy is true, then white supremacists should not fear black people as they themselves are the chosen ones. Fear erupts when they themselves don't believe in white supremacy. This fear often leads to xenophobia, racism, and a desire to maintain traditional power structures. They may worry that they will become a minority in their own country and lose the advantages they have enjoyed for generations. Political rhetoric reinforcing these beliefs and promoting an us versus them mentality can intensify this fear further. These groups may also resort to violence and intimidation to maintain their control. Do you think these fears give enough excuse to whites to discriminate? Should inferiority complex and other fears be an excuse to abuse, kill, and humiliate? Let us know your opinions on the future if these fears continue passing to whites as a legacy. Or will whites accept the natural superiority blacks have and end all conflicts? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody is talking about: the black culture, civilization, history, and the evidence proving black superiority. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.